Joe. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's been a while. So, this is going to be a short one. So the focus, well, first of all, Ruby, can you hear me? Please confirm in the comments if you can hear me. That would be appreciated. Also, I appreciate any thumbs up. That would also be appreciated. Code Long and Profit. Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, just let me know before we proceed that you can hear me clearly. If you just can comment. There's always a bit of a lag time between what I see in the comments and what streams out. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I just want to be sure that you can hear me. All right, good. All right, yes, cool. All right, so everybody can hear me. So I'm going to get to the comments and a few other things. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Here in not so sunny South Florida. Yeah, appreciate the thumbs as well, if you would give that up. Good for the Google algorithm. So let's get into the Apple Vision Pro. So this device is coming out in January in the US. So the question that comes to mind is this going to be an opportunity for developers? Is the Apple Vision Pro represent some big thing like the iPhone was and then the Android devices? You see now, Sony just announced today as well on at CES that they're coming out with their own I think they call it a mixed reality headset. Basically, it's like the Vision Pro, but Sony's version, disconnected from the PlayStation. They have a PlayStation version 1, but it's connected to PlayStations, which is not as good. So you got that. You got the Vision Pro. You have the Oculus. You got the Quest. So we got a bunch of these devices hitting the ground now. Well, the Quest's been out for a while. I have the Quest 2. And so let's just deal with the Vision Pro in terms of what are the opportunities as developers. Should you jump into it? Should you drop everything? What's going to happen? Let's see. So number one, the Vision Pro is going to be very niche, meaning very specialized, especially at first. It's not, I don't believe anyway, it's going to be the equivalent or anything close to like an iPhone or an Android phone. Because the phone, they did three things, right? With the phones, you could make calls, you could surf the internet and text. So this is something that people are doing all the time already. Whereas with Vision Pro and other headsets like that, there's nothing really, it's not like a day-to-day thing. I think maybe for gaming, specialized type of gaming, although personally I'd rather game on a big screen TV than one of these devices, but who knows. Yeah, so I don't see it as being a broad-based application. I don't think that the Vision Pro is going to be anything but a highly niche application. And I'm not even talking about how much it costs. I'm just thinking about wearing these goggles. Now the problem is, even though the quality of the video is supposed to be amazing and the interface is supposed to be amazing based on the reviewers, but again, based on reviewers, they say it's heavy. After 15 minutes, it's too heavy and you want to take it off your head. So I don't see, if that's the case, I don't see people are going to be sitting watching movies with this thing or doing a lot of long-term work. They'll be using it for very short periods of time. So what does this all mean? This all means that it's going to be highly niche, number one. It's a product that it's going to be very specialized. But, so how would you play this as a developer? How should you approach it? So since it's probably going to be a very specialized device, if you're looking at it as far as a platform to write code against, develop apps for it or whatnot, you got to really have an obvious use case that you can identify. So maybe you've worked in aerospace, or maybe you worked in some, I don't know, some scientific field, and you see that this type of visualization, this type of augmented reality goggle implementation might have a use case. Then if you have that insight into industry, then maybe you could write code, write an app, or approach that industry vis-a-vis developing for the Vision Pro platform. That's an opportunity to look into. But again, that's something where you have to have a good understanding of industry, having what I call domain knowledge to be able to do that. So that's number one. That's number two, rather. So number three, it could be lucrative because it is a niche product, right? So you may see, well, I think it's likely that you see that this the device will be highly niche, very niche application. So what does that mean? That means you might be able to charge a premium. There's lots of businesses out there that you've never heard of where they don't have a huge number of people using their services or their product, but they make a lot of money because it's highly specialized. So that type of specialized development, coding, programming could be very lucrative because it is a niche. Also, keep in mind, at $3,500 US for this first version, I imagine the prices will drop over time, but these are people who buy the Vision Pro who are not afraid to spend money, right? So it could be lucrative in that sense. For example, when it came to web design development, I knew somebody who wanted to build websites for musicians and bands. And I figured, yeah, there's a lot of bands and musicians out there. The problem is that they're broke, right? So if your target audience is people who don't have much money, it might be difficult to make a go of it, you know? On the other hand, if people are buying the Vision Pro, then you know that they got money to spend, probably, right? So it could be lucrative. Final point, you would need to know Xcode, which is Apple's IDE, Integrated Development Environment, and probably going to be writing the code in Swift. So there's this Swift development. And there you go. So yes, is there potential opportunity for the Vision Pro? Potential. I think it's going to be highly niche, which doesn't mean it won't be lucrative. It could be, because it's niche, it could be lucrative. So that's my brief overview on the Vision Pro. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get into some of the questions and comments that were put to me here, and a few other things. So DV Dragon says, prediction, Apple Vision will be like a 3D printing and drones, successful but not world-changing like smartphones or social media. I would agree. Not up to the hype, but popular enough to stick around for some use cases. I think that's a reasonable assessment, DV Dragon. I would agree with that. Although I think that it's going to be bigger than 3D printing and bigger than drones. That's what I believe. Because, you know, you could use it to do meditations, you could use it for exercise, for gaming. So it has I think it will be much bigger than 3D printing, and I think it will be bigger than drones. But I could be wrong. That's my guess on that. All right. What's up, man? It's so nice to catch your live streams. I can hear you. Very cool. I can hear. Good, good. Appreciate you joining streams, guys. I appreciate the thumbs up. Small group tonight. Okay. Greetings from Afghanistan. Very cool. Welcome to the stream. All right. We'll see what Generate says. I think the Vision Pro isn't, but the Vision for average consumers will be. Also predicting Apple will have iterative success, not instant. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there's a high probability if they can get the price down to a reasonable number, and then my white went out. Hold on. If they can get the price down to a reasonable number, and then you know, and then at that point they have developed a bunch of apps. Some of the apps might be killer apps, and yeah, it could develop into something. That's for sure. From what I've seen, Apple also needs to listen to consumer competitors more and stop assuming they know best. Any thoughts on Swift versus something others, JS, Python, or Java? Well, if you're going to be building applications for the Vision Pro, you're going to be using Swift for sure. There's no question about that. Should one learn PHP or Python? Depends what your goal is, Jesse. If your goal is to be more of a freelance developer, then it's going to be PHP. If you want to specialize into Python, it's more specialized, although there's a lot of Python jobs. It's not so much a freelance language, although there's some out there. My guess is that companies that do not... Why is it shutting off? Hold on a second. Why my light here is just going off for some reason? Oh, the battery's dead. That will explain it. Do I have power? I do have power. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. There we go. Put that here. Yeah, I'm not at home. I'm not at the home office. I'm traveling, so I'm using my mobile setup here. And that works. All right, so my guess that... Oh, that's not working. Oh, jeez. All right, hold on a second. I'm just going to fix my lighting. We'll put you on the intermission here a second. Here, hold on a second. All right, sorry about that. I had to get my lighting fixed here. Yeah, can you hear me? All right, so my guess is that companies that do house interior designs are going to love this because they can demonstrate house interiors to their customers and allow them to fully immerse themselves in the design. Yeah, that's one application for sure. Then again, it's not easy to hustle up lenses and designs. Okay, hold on. There's a conversation between these people. PHP is like 80% of the whole web, while Python is more for science. Yeah, Python is more specialized data science. You'll see it in companies that may have systems that they're automating and so forth. So yeah, Python's more specialized. Well, it's used quite a bit, but it's in the sciences, it's in academia, it's in AI. That's why you would learn Python. I think the Vision Pro will be enjoyable for the enterprise level consumer. Perhaps, perhaps. Oh yeah, James Foreman. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. I didn't wish you Happy New Year. I was going to do a lot more live streams, but then I got COVID. So that knocked me out for but I just had a fever for a day. But then I was just kind of malaise for a while. Just started learning Kotlin, started using design by interface instead of design by inheritance after watching a video. Love your content. Very cool. Very good. If you guys don't know, design by interface versus design by inheritance are two basic ways in which you structure applications when you're using object-oriented languages. I'm a big advocate of design by interface. I won't get into here. Do you think hyper-casual mobile games market is dead? You know, I haven't looked at that the statistic. I know it's difficult to break into. Like you need serious money typically. Like I don't think you're going to get a Flappy Birds anytime soon. So yeah, I'm not a huge, I would consider that a high risk type of development if you're going to build your own games anyway. I don't know if it's dead. Should I learn Wix Studio instead of WordPress since it's newer? They're two different use cases. Wix Studio is not the same as Wix. Wix Studio is a platform designed for professional freelancers and agencies. So it's very comprehensive, not just in terms of the tool sets to build things, but also in terms of managing clients, billing them, and so on. But WordPress is a different application, a different use case, meaning if you're building information-rich sites where the users, where your clients are going to be adding new content on a regular basis, classic content management system. Though Wix Studio has that capability to a certain extent, WordPress is very powerful in that regard. The thing is, when you go out there in the market, there's so many websites that are based on WordPress that when they update things, they're going to be reluctant to drop their WordPress, So it depends on I would dabble in both of Wix Studio and WordPress and see what the market does for you. Happy New Year. Yeah. Glad that you're getting, are you getting the Vision Pro? No, I have no particular use case for it personally. I have the Oculus and I use it a few times, but I find it too heavy. It's heavy on the face and you get pressure on the bridge of the nose and the eyes. So you can only use it for a limited time. I would need something very, very, very comfortable, very light for me to consider it. If the Vision Pro was very comfortable and very light, I might consider it, but I'm not rushing to get it personally. I'm currently working on a web app tech. I'm using React, Apache, Django, Swift for iOS. Okay, I want it to be a web app while also handling user login, user data store in the ECS. Is this a good practice? So why are you building a native app for iOS if you want it to be a web app? That I don't understand. Unless you're doing both at the same time. I would build your web app first And then if you need to create a native mobile with Swift iOS, then I would do that. 4 said, if I had asked my customers what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse. Apple is bringing revolution through, though at a very high cost. Other companies could optimize costs, maybe Chinese. Well, you know, something I mentioned on a Instagram live, when the iPhone came out, everybody thought it was ridiculously expensive as well, by the way. You know, famously, Steve Ballmer from Microsoft was making fun of Apple for having such a high-priced device. And we know where that went, you know. So it's hard to say. Big screen beyond headset is the coolest headset out now. Yeah, pretty much. No way it will be bigger than drones and 3D printing. Well, we'll soon find out. I'm not too familiar with the 3D printing market, but we'll find out how big these devices are, like basically the goggles, versus those markets. Drones are and will be in nearly every industry. Yeah, nah. The US market, it is better to focus on one type of websites. As an example, just building websites for roofing contractor would be a general WordPress developer. As a freelancer, it depends on the market, you know. You may find yourself where you get all kinds of different companies that you start building for, or you may find yourself specialized. You know, if you build for one coffee shop, independent coffee shop, and maybe you find yourself building tons of websites for restaurants and coffee shops. I don't know. Let the market dictate that, man. Just go out there and try to figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work. And the jobs will tell you how that's going to work out. I've seen so many different things, it's hard to say. By the way, appreciate if you can give me some thumbs up, guys. That would be very cool. Helps with the Google algorithm. Oh, by the way, I want to point out, yeah, we can get rid of this. Boom. And we can go here. Boom. So I have a Discord. As you can see, it's pretty populated. So I invite you to join the Discord. Links below, so that when the live stream is over, you can start connecting with other people. So this is the Discord. You get my latest videos. We have a lounge, introductions, media, book discussions. It's a pretty active group. And yeah, it's free to join. You might as well join. Music, mental health, daily stand-up. It's pretty, we got some good moderators on here and they manage it. So general tech discussion. So you can see there's lots to explore. WordPress, CMS, lots to explore. People have gotten together on this Discord to do projects with each other. So I invite you to take a look at that Discord, links below. So yeah, when you do join, where is it? Welcome. Announcement. All right. So STEF'S new videos. Anyway. So yeah, well, there we go. So if you do join, we'll see below. Yeah, so let's see what other questions we have. I never understood how a switch can evolve into artificial intelligence. Any thoughts? That ping pong robot is pretty amazing. Man, I have to see. I'm not sure, Andy, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the ping pong robot, so I don't know. Yeah, you know, I think it's almost I'm not going to say philosophical, but it's very hard to determine when does something become sentient. You know, what is sentience? The thing is, if you understand how humans work, you realize we don't think nearly as much as you think we think. The native iOS app is for book reading. It's already functional. The web app is for users to log into their accounts and see stats, also handle login from iOS devices. All right, so I think that will work. It's not, you know, at the end of the day, when you're just managing data like that, the key is just keeping the access to the database clean. And so whether it's your iOS app, accessing the database or updating the database, or your web app doing so. You know, the key point of communication between your native platform and your web implementation is that database. So as long as that's clean, you should be okay. Joining the Discord now. Thanks for sharing. Ah, very cool. Yeah. So let's see. I will be able to show when people join. They appear right here. So yeah, tell me. It should appear right here once you join. We'll monitor that. What's the next questions? All right. Richard Pro, I remember you mentioned that the future is of hybrid apps and not native. I am learning Kotlin, but will move to cross-platform language, or maybe KMM. How long do you think native market will last? I don't think native market will disappear. Don't get me wrong. I just think that as the web technologies become more effective, people will be building less native apps. That's all. So I imagine there'll be plenty of work in native apps going forward. But from everything I've seen and observed, companies are better typically to build a cross-platform app, whether, you know, some web implementation or something, or React, simply because it saves a lot of money and time. Do you have any ideas where the web should progress towards? Blockchain, VR? I think it's all the above. I don't think VR or blockchain are going to storm past everything and take over. I think the web technologies are pretty well established and settled into place. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be a big monumental shift from one to the other. Eric, how are you? Cheers. Welcome to the stream. I've been working a lot with WordPress recently. Do you prefer custom themes by producing blocks, or more traditional WordPress custom themes in Gutenberg? I have a preference for neither, actually. Work with whatever works best for you. I would have to look more closely at that. How to overcome the feeling when you develop an app for months and see no users or results of your hard work? Well, that's the risk, you know, of building apps from scratch. You know, it's like when you're going out there. What's today's day? That's weird. You said it. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted here. That's weird. It says you joined. It doesn't say you joined. Huh, that's interesting. All right. Yeah, a reality of developing apps is you never know what's going to work. That's why I always tell people, if you're developing a new app idea, you want to get it out as quickly as possible, as quick and dirty as possible, to see if anybody wants to use it. Common mistake is you think that your app's going to be amazing, everybody's going to love it, and you work super hard on it, and you make it super solid, and you got your all kinds of fancy error trapping and use case test, and then you find out nobody's interested, or you find out that people are interested, but you got to change a lot of functionality, so you got to rip up your code. So the first version, your alpha version, your beta version of any app, should be quick as possible, as quick and dirty as possible, because chances are you're going to rewrite it. Just keep working at it, man. Just keep working at it. It's not uncommon what you're dealing with right now. Just joined the Discord. Hey, how are you, man? How's the snow in Montreal? Let me know. Yeah, it's weird. So people said they joined the Discord, but I don't see people. It's not showing up in the Discord server. I'm gonna have to check that out. Huh. If you did join the Discord, do me a favor and type something out. I don't ever want to get into the AI field because I think it's unethical. Not everything with it is, in my opinion, but there's Too much duping potential, and it seems like it's progressing rapidly. Yeah, that's going to have to be worked out. There's no question about that. Just landed my first web dev job. Big thanks to your tips and advice. Now I need to learn Angular, but they use an older version from a couple of years ago. Should I learn the old version or the current one? Learn whatever one they're using, man. If they need you to work on the old version, learn the old version, you know. Unless they tell you otherwise. You could always ask them, what do you want me to learn? Do you want me to learn the new or the old? That's what I would do. Yeah. So how are we doing for time? All right, 31 minutes. All right. Hey, Mr. Steph, I know MERN-Stack and WordPress. I'm about to start freelancing. Please give me a proper roadmap on how to price and what tech to use for multiple kinds of customers. Well, your customers are going to largely dictate what technology you use. That's the first thing. So you may find yourself doing a lot of WordPress work. That means PHP. In terms of how to proceed, you can watch lots of videos on this channel where I talk about how there's the steps to becoming a freelancer, the 7 steps. Once you know your fundamentals, which you seem to know, you want to put up a site that profiles your skills, make sure it looks really good, and you take it from there. But you can go watch some previous videos where I talk about that. Geek Viking is part of my mentoring group. I just subscribed to the paid version of ChatGPT, and I already started creating my own GPT for the new GPT market. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we should discuss that in the next meeting. For how long do you think JavaScript will be on the top, and what language do you think will be the most used in development? Well, I think JavaScript is going to stay on the top for many years to come, simply because when it comes to web browser programming, it's really the only game in town. It doesn't have competition. So I don't see how that would happen otherwise. So yeah, that's my thinking about that. So JavaScript is not going away anytime soon, that's for sure, that's for sure. So yeah. All right, guys. So any other questions while you have me? I'll be wrapping up the stream fairly soon because my voice is still a little weak. I just got over a bout of COVID, so I'm not exactly doing fantastic. Yeah. Should I feel bad when I do a WordPress site, not doing a ton of custom work, like when simple themes and plugins are enough? No. Your goal as a developer is to maximize the amount of money you make per hour of your time. And you can do that with just becoming a better developer, working on better workflows. So whether, if you're making $100 the hour on WordPress, or you're making $100 the hour writing Swift code, or you're making $100 the hour building web apps with MERN, it's all good. It's all good. You're going to learn as you become more experienced as a developer. You're going to be switching off languages all the time. Yeah, as normal. I wouldn't be too concerned. Here we go. This is my Discord, by the way. I just want to show you guys. I take it links below. I think we have two-factor authentication on this thing. So you might have to set that up. You may have to, we're just protecting it. But you can see it's pretty popular. There's thousands of users on it. We got our lounge, and you can introduce yourself here. I would suggest introduce yourself. And book discussions, motivation, all kinds of stuff. Discussions about career advice, AI, ChatGPT, UI, UX. So it's pretty comprehensive. Pretty comprehensive. I invite you to join that. All right. What about PyScript in competing with JavaScript? I don't see that happening I think JavaScript is here to stay. Hypothetically, if you had to time travel, which big companies' ideas would you start, like Apple or Microsoft? They both did pretty good. I think Apple would be more fun. It'd be more fun. What do employers look for in entry-level front-end engineers? I'm having trouble getting hired despite having a portfolio website. Well, social skills are huge. I'm going to put out some information on how to fix up your LinkedIn. Make sure your LinkedIn is fixed up well. Like, are you getting any leads? Are people interviewing you, or are you just not getting any leads? Soft skills is something people have to work on. Hey, Steph, how should I explain to an older person how they should get into programming? Well, it's a personal choice, you know. You got to like it, I think. You got to enjoy it, got to get satisfaction out of it. There's a lot of opportunity. You can point them to a video I did about a year or two ago. It was last time I recorded that video was in Florida. It's called 15 Broke, Should You Learn to Code? It was a popular video, over 300,000 views on that one. So you may want to direct them to that video. Yeah, appreciate the thumbs, guys, if you don't mind. Much appreciated. So, did anybody join the Discord? Some people said they did join the Discord, but okay, here we go. All right, we did get somebody. Okay, so somebody joined the Discord just now. AD Roberts just landed. Okay, cool. So just in case you're just dropping in, we do have a Discord channel. So AD Roberts just joined. That's cool. We have thousands of members. So if you want to continue this conversation afterwards, I invite you. Links below. Just join the Discord. Cool stuff. Not many leads. Been doing a lot of code applications on company websites. There you go. So what you got to do is you got to work on your LinkedIn. Get your LinkedIn profile up to snuff. I will be putting out content on that, but that's what I would do. Work on your LinkedIn. Cold is difficult because you don't know what they want. Better to put out the lines on LinkedIn and let them find you. Yo, Gina, how are you? Hey, Code Long and Profit. How you doing? Have you ever built something for a client that got hacked, exploited? If so, how did you respond and how did you navigate the situation with that client? Have I ever hacked? No, I don't think so. I built things and, major bugs appeared or major things broke down. That happens. With my own SaaS product, I had some major issues. Like Studioweb, if you don't know, is my SaaS, and I have lots of schools who use it, and we've had major problems. You just gotta deal with it honestly, man. Just deal with it honestly, and make sure you have backups, daily backups, and lock down the application. It's a long discussion, but yeah, just make sure the data is secure. That's first and foremost. Make sure you have a backup strategy already implemented. It should be implemented in the site. All right. I built a ton of projects professionally, but I feel like I would bomb in a coding interview. How important are data structures and algorithms? Well, generally speaking, when it comes to real work, data structures and algorithms for 99% of development are not important. But some companies test, unfortunately, for that. So before you go into these tests, you got to find out what they're looking for, So I'm not sure. I don't have the data in terms of how prevalent data structures and algorithm testing are. But you can imagine the bigger the company, more probable that will happen. As a first job, is it better to start at a tech company or a different industry's IT department? The first job of getting the first job is to get the first job. You just want to get that first job and get some experience under your belt. Doesn't matter where. I'm still trying to figure out JavaScript. I get the variable and if else, but I don't understand when to implement it in code. Well, you got to keep writing code. You should do my JavaScript course, link below. It's interactive, and you probably learn far more quickly than you would otherwise. So I would recommend you check out my JavaScript course. But at the end of the day, you just got to write code. Keep writing code every day. Keep writing code. Start building little projects. Like in my JavaScript course, you learn to build little things. And as you build more and more things, you start to understand how it all kind of fits together. But don't give up. Just keep writing the code, man. Just keep writing the code. All right, guys. I'm going to be closing off the stream. Thanks for joining. My voice is a little weak. So, yeah, I invite you again to join the Discord. Links below. It's free. Got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of discussions here. Some good people on there. And yeah, I think you'll find it a good place to hang out. I think we have over 3,000 members. So check it out. Links below, Discord. All right, so that's about it. Have a good night. Cheers, everybody. Appreciate the thumbs. If you think this video is useful, share it. And let me know if you have any questions. Hey, Steph, do you have M3 Max? No. I have, yeah, the Discord link is at the bottom. I use the M1s and M2 Max. Now I'm just using my my Air right now because I'm traveling. So I got an old M1 Air. It works pretty good. Appreciate it. Get well. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, Discord link is below. So I invite you to join that. And yeah, if you have any other questions about what we discussed here today or otherwise, you can put them under this video. I'll keep this video up on YouTube so you can watch it. All right, guys. Cheers.